coffee in the big time, yeah.
Oh, yeah!
The cream of the crop! Nobody does it better.
Tip of the elbow to you all, and welcome to this edition of, I'm done with that. Welcome to this edition of Lariat Latte for not September at all. It is October 29th, 2017 on this Sunday morning on a legitimately dark and stormy eve? Yeah, it's 11. Yeah, dark and stormy eve. I am, of course, your quintessential stud muffin, DeeJay, flying solo once again. As I said before, whenever some guys want to come through, they come through. Flying solo. So, it has been 2 weeks. Sorry, I gotta take another sip of my elbow. Sip of my elbow. Good job. So, before we get down to the business, because I've had quite a couple of things wrestling-wise happen for me. We also got a lowdown of the latest in WWE. But before we get on this, let us top this with the segment On This Day I See Clearly Everything Has Come to Life. So, on this day in wrestling history, on October 29th, many things have happened. One to note, 19 years ago, I believe 19 years ago, but it was on this day, WCW presented Halloween Havoc 92. And for those that don't remember, that featured the Yeti coming and slowly dry humping Hulk Hogan along with the Giant. Iconic indeed. Who could forget that? Also on this day, there was also Halloween Havoc, I believe it was 1997 or 1999. That featured such great matches as Buff Bagwell versus David Flair. And by God, did all the wrestling genes go to the daughter, not to the son. In the first blood match. Wait, I'm sorry, it wasn't a first blood match. It was a first blood DNA match. And it was... What the fuck? I've never heard of this match. It was a first blood DNA match. The two men would submit blood samples to find out who the father of Stacy Keibler's unborn child was. Ugh, God, only fucking WCW. Only WCW. Yeah, that pretty much is, for the most part, of note. The only other thing of note is, in New Orleans, Louisiana, Fires, the Road Warriors of Hawk and Animal defeated the Midnight Express of Bobby Eaton and Stan Lane to win the NWA World Tag Team Championships. So, and it would be the only time that they won the NWA tag titles, interestingly enough. So that is the lowdown of what has happened on this day. I mean, iconically, I mean, the Latte, I mean, he's got to take the top of the cake there. I mean, he will go down in history as truly a legend. Truly a legend. So I did a lot, past couple of weeks. I finished up the, Jim Ross book. I will bring up what that is, because I've been referring to it as the latest Jim Ross book on Audible. But it has a name, I'm sure. Yeah, I finished up, Jim Ross's, new book, Slobber Knocker, My Life in Wrestling. Wow, it went fast, man. It basically goes all the way up to when he first got in the business, all the way up to WrestleMania 15, as it alluded to in the beginning of the book. I was a little bit kind of disappointed at the end. I was like, oh man, really? We're just gonna end it right there? I feel like there's so much more to cover. Because, yeah, Jim Ross had it going on for a while. But hopefully this is a prelude to many more books to come from Jim Ross before he leaves us. He leaves this world. But yeah, overall, outstanding book. It's got that Jim Ross wit to it, that dry comedy to it, interesting stories, all around inspirational stuff. It's basically like nearing the end. It's him fighting off the tears and like walking through so he could call the Rock and Stone Cold match at WrestleMania 15 because they didn't want to do it without Jim Ross on commentary. Jim Ross kind of coming to terms with, you know, how his face looks in Bell's palsy and trying, you know, to will himself to basically go out in front of the crowd with his face and basically call the match that his two bright and shining stars that he himself signed put on. But yeah, I feel like it went way too fast though, but that's a good thing though, because to leave you wanting more is definitely a highlight to have for sure. But yeah, I honestly recommend this book. If you can, by all means, go get yourself a free trial at Audible. I don't have something to shill here because I don't get paid by Audible. Wink, wink. But yeah, do yourself even get the Audible because Jim Ross reads it. He's got his comedy to it. It's just a great book. All around great book. If you're a wrestling fan, if you're a fan of Jim Ross, definitely read it. It gives a lot more insight to the man. And it's a good read. Very good read. Good listen, good read. I also got further in to my Goldust watching. For those of you that are new and do not know, I'm basically going back all the way from when Dustin Rhodes, aka Goldust, aka Arsenal knows Goldust, aka Seven, first got into business, and I'm watching all the matches that I possibly can up till the present, and that motherfucker has been in the business forever, and he still is, so there's a lot to get through. I've made a lot of leeway since last time I talked about it. I am up to 1999. I'm up to his debut back on WCW as the mysterious child predator, Seven. Man, good stuff. Good stuff. So yeah, I'm up to that now. Some highlights. Fucking just reminded of one of my favorite things with him, his team up with Blue Meanie, aka Blue Dust. Just fucking great. Just great shit. I think it's probably the best thing that Blue Meanie has done in the WWE, which is not really saying much because he really wasn't in the Fed for that long. But man, just really some really good stuff. There was a really good match, WrestleMania 15, with him, Ken Shamrock, Val Venus, and the Road Dogg for the Intercontinental title. That was a really good match. It was good. It wasn't amazing, but it was a good match. Then Goldust also winning his third Intercontinental title the night after WrestleMania 15 on Raw. Just really good stuff. Really good stuff. For sure. So, yep. Now I'm up to Goldust on his final run in WCW. Maybe there's some good gems in there. We'll see. Once again, man, I mean, the one thing I also say, because at this time he then had a feud with, like, the Godfather. And he took the Intercontinental title off him, like, 2 weeks after he won it. They didn't really have very great matches. Their match at, what was it, Backlash 1999 was fairly good, but I don't know. When I was watching their matches, you kind of got the feeling that they didn't really mesh well together with their style. Kind of like Godfather had some trouble like lifting and doing stuff with Dustin, but then again, he's a big motherfucker. That guy. He's like what, 6'2", something like that. He's a tall MFer for sure. So good stuff though. Good stuff though. There's some gems there. Unfortunately, Goldust is a little bit underrated in the Attitude Era, which is a shame. But there's some good gems there. Definitely, like as I said before, like his shit with Val Venus, especially their match at Judgment Day 1998. Fucking stellar shit. One of his best matches for sure. I feel like there was something else that I did, wrestling wise. Something else that I watched. That's for the most part pretty much it. Oh, I know what we did. We watched TLC last Sunday. I don't know, man. I'm trying to wrap my head around TLC. It's a shame because I was just having this conversation with someone at my job. You can't really just flat out say that an overall pay-per-view was good, really, anymore. At least in my eyes. And it's a shame. You know, you had Alicia Fox and Sasha Banks in a kickoff show. Once again, Sasha Banks reduced to a kickoff show match. I mean, what are you gonna do? Asuka and Emma had a decent match. It was decent. Nothing else really to say. I think they had like a better match at NXT. Better matches than NXT, but this one's fine. This one is fine. And Asuka, of course, won. Why wouldn't she? Safe choice going down, so we'll see. Fucking one thing that was weird is weird ass in between segments where like Elias is trying to do his performance and Jordan is just being a dick. Like he literally comes out to the ring with a shopping cart and throws lettuce and various vegetables at him and then just rolls away laughing. It just fucking weird, stupid, carny bullshit. One of the best matches on the show, Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann versus the Brian Kendrick and Jack Gallagher. What more to say than fucking Cedric Alexander can go. He's wasted on that 205 Live show. Rich Swann, fucking great. They work well together. I'll give them that. The tag team of Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann are great. The thing is, I don't see where this would be going with these two. In terms of them having a tag team. Due to the fact that there's no tag titles in the Cruiserweight division. So the only way it would really matter is if they transition Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann together into like Raw tag team matches. So, I mean, they work great together, and you know, Raw could definitely use some more tag teams. But yeah, that was definitely a good match. Fucking great shit from them. To be expected. What a fucking alright fucking match with Alexa Bliss and Mickie James. If you want to watch our reactions for it, it's on our YouTube channel, but holy shit, Mickie James literally fucks up a fucking drop kick off the top rope and fucking hits nothing. She wasn't even aiming for Bliss. It just looked like absolute garbage, so if that's all she wrote for Mickie James, then I don't think it's gonna get much better there. I think that was the pinnacle of what we're gonna see Mickie James achieve in WWE. So, what a slow fart to go out to. Kalisto and Enzo Amore for the Cruiserweight title. Enzo, of course, gets back the Cruiserweight Championship. What a fucking shock. Kalisto, the only highlight I could say is Kalisto hit a fucking beautiful Salida del Sol, reversing out at Enzo's Jadunzo. Looked great. Fucking love that Salida del Sol finish. That's really much of the highlight, really. They had a decent back and forth. Most of this, it's decent. But the best match of the night, for sure, was the Demon Finn Balor versus AJ Styles. They fucking stole the show. Great shit. Great back and forth. It lived up to the hype. Definitely the best match on this show. Hard to believe that this fucking show was a fill-in for that shit that Bray Wyatt was going to deliver with Finn Balor that no one cares about anymore. Because fucking end that feud, God, please. Good stuff, though. Those two fucking kill it, and deservedly so. Then there was, I believe that brings us. Oh no! Then after a while, Jordan and Elias had a match. Hooray! I don't know why they even had to put this match in. I don't know if they were trying to kill time. That probably was what it was, because the Jason Jordan versus Elias. What a push for Jason Jordan. Like, are you going to push him or not? What the fuck? What a raw match to put in. Jason Jordan was good. Elias did his thing. Not much more to say. Then there was the main event of the TLC pay-per-view, the only TLC match with Kurt Angle, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose versus The Miz, Kane, Braun Strowman, and The Bar of Sheamus and Cesaro. I don't know what to. It was. Kurt Angle showed his age. Kurt Angle didn't really do much. They got him out of the match, then had him come back in for the hype thing. Dissension in the ranks between Kane and Braun Strowman. That was the story of the match. Kind of a clusterfuck, honestly. The chair thing with like Kane, where like Braun Strowman takes a shitty choke slam, which is just I'm have your neck and I'm gonna push you down. I mean, no one expected Kane to lift fucking Braun Strowman, but why even make it look like a choke slam? Whatever. God, Kane needs to go away. The spot where Kane like brings all the chairs down on Braun Strowman, that was a cool thing. I like that. That was a cool visual. But other than that, kind of just really a clusterfuck, really. The Shield and Kurt win, of course. But just really a clusterfuck. So overall, TLC, it was decent. There was two good matches. Kurt Angle got a payday. You know. Yeah. That's all I could really say about TLC. So that about does it for what I've been doing in the week. So without further ado, I think it's about time that we go in Raw.
Look at the cards, the charts from my generation. I'll take the come on, let's get it on. Move to the music, play that music. Move it to the music, yeah.
Interesting Raw. I had to say so. Kurt Angle starts off the show, comes down to the ring, basically runs down Survivor Series card for us. Basically a Night of Champions type of thing where the champions of SmackDown and the champions of Raw will be going at it. So at the moment, Alexa Bliss, Raw Women's Champion, will go against the SmackDown Women's Champion, Natalie. That could be good. We'll see. Intercontinental Champion The Miz goes up against Baron Corbin, who's the United States Champion. That could be a really good match. The Miz always has a good match with someone, really. He's a really good hand. Miz knows how to... Miz kind of brings a good match into some people, believe it or not. At least I feel. Or at least he knows how to tell a compelling story in the ring and keep your attention. So that could actually be a good match. The Raw Tag Team Champions, The Shield of Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, will go against the Usos, who are the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. That is probably going to be the show stealer. I'm going to put my money on that right now because the Usos have been killing it. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose have been killing it with their tag team matches way back Raw. They had a fucking great match with the club, and I forget what the other tag team was, but yeah, that should be a fucking killer. And the Universal Champion Brock Lesnar will go up against your
WWE Champion Jinder Mahal.
Jinder Mahal. Come on, Kurt. Come on now. Jinder Mahal. For fuck's sake. Yeah, so for everyone that's been dying to see that fucking guy get destroyed in a ring, that should prove nice. So, in terms of Jinder Mahal, I'm sorry, I would say it right, Mahal, getting fucking destroyed, yeah. That should be fucking awesome to watch. Unless they decide to have Jinder Mahal win. In which case, that'd be fucking stupid. But, let's hope they're not stupid. This leads into a match between The Bar and The Miz versus Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and AJ Styles. Who has been okayed for one more match on Raw before he heads back to SmackDown, since he was borrowed from SmackDown at the request of Kurt Angle to Shane McMahon, who obliged. There's a story to that we will get to soon. Foreshadowing. They had a good match. They had a decent back and forth, I'd say. Not too schmozzy. High spots. All that good AJ Styles work there with Styles clashing and the phenomenal elbow. Good match. Good match. So Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and AJ Styles went over in that match, and that brings us to our Kane segment.
These people didn't come here tonight just to see Finn Balor. They came here to see the Kane-a-Rooney.
The wonder of the world is gone, I know for sure. All the wonder.
So I will preface this that I'm a huge fan of Kane. He was one of my favorite wrestlers growing up. I thought he was fucking cool. And all of that. This needs to end, and he needs to stop. And I hate saying that, because everyone deserves a payday, and everyone deserves to go out in their own terms. Especially Kane. He's had a very good career in WWE. But for fuck's sake, stay to your fucking wig. I mean, he's really just filling in a gap that Bray Wyatt has, that left him. He's going to be the one that's going to replace Bray Wyatt. Which is why, after this segment, he went over against Finn Balor. Which is fine. Because it's not burying Finn Balor. You're making Kane look strong, so when Finn Balor beats him at whatever pay-per-view that you're going to have this match at, then it's more important. So that's fine. I'm fine with Kane going over. But it's like, come the fuck on now with this. It's just Finn Balor filler. It's just giving the guy something to do, which is fine, because you want Finn Balor to have something to do. But for Christ's sake, he's not the man that fights all of the wicked witches in the fucking locker room like Bray Wyatt and Kane. He's so much better than that. Which you saw with him and AJ Styles. I don't know. He still is owed a rematch for the Universal title. I want to believe at some point a trigger will be pulled for him and he'll gain the status that he deserves. But right now, he's just in filler mode. So Kane comes out being like, so you thought that he was a monster. I've been hearing that Strowman is a monster. But I don't like that. I am the monster of Raw, of the WWE, and I will prove that I am and will always be Raw's only monster. Monster, 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 monster. Shut the fuck up. We get it. God. This man that can constantly bump on his knees. And you know, I'll give Kane this much at least, though. During his match with Finn Balor, which was meh, he did give choke slams to Finn Balor without bumping on his knees. 3 consecutive choke slams without bumping on his knees. So for that, I have to applaud Kane. Good job. You did good there. Avoiding that bumping on your knees. I gotta give Kane that. But yeah, we're getting Kane and Balor. Later on, we're probably going to get Kane and Strowman, and hopefully this will be the farewell to Kane. He's got to pack it up. He's not providing anything, and he's just going to get heat for himself, the poor guy. You know? I mean, Big Show, he got fit, he got buff, he looks good, he got the attention of everybody. He's not overstaying his welcome. Feed him to Braun. Let Braun get over, do this Finn Balor feud, get it over with, and then send them packing. There's not much else for Kane to do. He's dead weight. And I hate to say that because I love Kane, but he's just dead weight at this point. Asuka and Emma had a rematch. That's it. Asuka looked good. The end. You know, nothing else, nothing more that you didn't see at the TLC pay-per-view. So, yeah, we could do. There was Jason Jordan versus Elias again. I didn't see that. There was a segment with Mickey James and Alexa Bliss that I didn't see. Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman come down to the ring to address the challenge issued by the modern-day Maharaja Jinder Mahal. Heyman goes up on the mic saying that every single challenger that I have had the pleasure of cutting a promo against who has been facing Brock Lesnar, I have never talked crap about. I have never put them in a low fashion. I have always highlighted their strengths, and I've always depicted them in a good light. Jinder Mahal, you are the exception. You are a champion out of necessity. You are a fraud. You don't even stack against any main eventer. You're not a main eventer. You're a faker. You're not on the same level as Brock Lesnar. And Brock Lesnar's part of the A brand, and he makes the brand. He's not part of the brand. He is the guy. And you are not a guy. And Suplex City. See Survivor Series. Basically, pretty much your shit, Jinder, gonna get wrecked at Survivor Series. You know, Paul Heyman, as always, great segment. He even fucked up a little bit and still played it off. Fucking great on the mic. Always good to hear a Paul Heyman promo when you can. Next up is Bayley versus Alicia Fox and Sasha Banks to find out who will be the leader of Team Raw for the women. Who will be the captain of the women's team? That answer?
The beautiful Alicia Fox.
And you know what? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Alicia Fox. I love her character. She has pulled off Insane to a very entertaining level. I love her. I think there's going to be nothing but weird shenanigans and great backstage segments with her on Raw being the captain. Great stuff. The match kind of depicted Bayley and Sasha Banks trying to beat each other. The great spot for the finish is Bayley's about to go for a Bayley to belly. Fox gets behind her and starts imitating her. Fox lands a Bayley to belly on Bayley. And then she gets the win to become the captain. I expect nothing but great stuff out of this. It's great for Alicia Fox. Alicia Fox has been putting in her dues, man. I gotta give her that. You know, she's been putting in her dues, and she's been very entertaining on Raw. So you know what? She deserves this rub, in my opinion. Give her the rub. So we end off the night. By the way, once again, I didn't see the full show. I watched it on Hulu. It's the best way for me to watch it. It's so hard to sit through commercials and all that shit for a 3-hour show. Hulu's the best example. So for the most part, just when you're coming here for the rundowns of everything, just assume that I'm going to go by the condensed 2-hour chunk that they put on Hulu. So, we finish off the night as Kurt Angle is coming down to the ring, and he's about to announce the superstars that will be on Team Raw when he is interrupted by Shane McMahon. Earlier in the night, Shane McMahon surprised Kurt Angle by being there, saying that he could see it now at Survivor Series. # Raw under siege. And Kurt Angle's like, yeah. Kurt Angle's talking crap about SmackDown, saying that state of your roster, mate. So before Kurt can say it, Shane comes down. He stares at Kurt Angle and he says, under siege, as from the crowd come Team SmackDown, including the New Day, AJ Styles, Tamina Snuka, Becky Lynch, Rusev, Natalie, Chad Gable, the Hype Bros of Ryder and Raleigh, Shinsuke Nakamura, Baron Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, Carmella, and Ty Dillinger. Not to mention, least but not least, Bobby Roode. So they come down. Kurt Angle looks terrified. He runs to the back. Shane says, "Go get him!" And SmackDown Live stars storm to the backstage. They start beating the shit out of everyone that comes their way. So they start off with Apollo Crews and Titus O'Neil. Titus Worldwide! Beat the shit out of them. Dana Brooke sees Team Blue coming and runs away. Hawkins, Axel, Goldust, and Rhino are the next victims. Team Blue find Jason Jordan, and fucking Chad Gable storms at Jason Jordan, which means that we are actually going to get a conclusion of these two leaving each other, so that's good. They come across the Divas, Natalie, Carmella, forget who else was there, but they basically start to beat that shit out of the Raw women's locker room. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose kind of wait up like on one of those camera storage things and try to jump them, but to no avail. They get beaten down. SmackDown stars hold Kurt to see what has become of his locker room. They bring him back out, and Shane says, "So you know what? You bring your gold medals, you bring whatever's left of your team, and we'll see you at Survivor Series. Stop doubting us, boy. We own you. We coming for you!" So, yeah, you know what? Good stuff. It makes the Survivor Series team versus team match more interesting. Not just like, it's a team versus a team. Whoa! It gives it more intrigue. It gives it more importance, more relevance, and that's a good thing overall. And it gives a shine to SmackDown. It deserves a little bit of shine. So, good segment. Good segment overall. Good way to end the show. Yeah. And I want to go with, like, the people that have having a problem with Shane. I want to say they're putting their differences aside because they have team pride. And also because Kurt Angle has been talking shit about Rollins. Like, fuck you, dude. We're going to beat the shit out of you. So, for all those reasons, A+ segment. Good way to end a Raw. For sure. So that brings us to SmackDown.
And I won't be tonight. 'Cause all I've got left is my pride. And I will rise up. Bring it out.
SmackDown. Starting out the show with their general manager Shane McMahon hopping and popping down to the ring, saying that they were the ones to strike first. They made an impact, and they will prove that SmackDown is not the show to be trifled with, dog. He is then interrupted by Sami Zayn, who still has his babyface music, but it is okay because Sami Zayn is a little bit more of a chuckle fuck and a dick in terms of his dancing down to the ring. A little bit more cocky, so it works with that. A+ on that. Zayn greets Shane, gives him a fine hello, tries to extend a hand and olive branch, saying, "Hope there's no hard feelings about Hell in the Cell." Shane smacks Zayn's hand away, says, "Yeah, bro, there kind of are hard feelings, but we'll let bygones be bygones for right now. We'll put that to the back burner, but I will address that in due time." Zayn says, "I too agree, Shane, and me and Owens have been talking in the back, and you know what? Yeah, you know what? I think we'll give you a hand. We'll extend our services to you because come on, we've been carrying SmackDown on our shoulders all this time, so okay, we'll come and help you guys." Shane retorts with, "But I don't want you representing SmackDown at Survivor Series. I don't need you to. But I will, however, give you an opportunity, because it is the land of opportunity. Fucking hate that. I'm getting so sick of that. The land of opportunity. Shut up. So he gives Zayn an opportunity to join the team that he didn't really want to join that much. And he says that you will have a match tonight to determine if you will be on the team. Zayn says, okay, so you're not going to tell me who my opponent is? Is it just going to be a mystery? And Shane says, no, I'll tell you. It's the Viper. It's Randy Orton. He hear voices in his head. They counsel him, they understand. They talk to him. And they'll talk to you tonight. So it's going to be Zayn versus Orton to determine who is the first member of the SmackDown team at Survivor Series. Zayn is good. Zayn was very funny in this. I chuckled at Zayn's, the way he was talking to Shane, all that stuff. I just kind of don't understand. It's like he was kind of like, I will help you. So he didn't seem like he really cared. So now he's going to battle Randy Orton for an opportunity to get on the team that he doesn't really care that much to get on. It's kind of weird. But I'll chalk it up to more of like, he wants to be the best thing on the show. He wants to prove that he's the best. So, fine. Next up was the New Day versus Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable. They had a very good match. Hot tags all around. Benjamin and Gable get the rub to get the win, make them look stronger in their eventual title match against the Usos. Good stuff. Good stuff. Decent match. They're getting better. Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. Getting way better. They're starting to click a little bit better than they have been. In my opinion. Good stuff. Backstage, Daniel Bryan is with all the women that will be on Team SmackDown except for Lana, and says that this year SmackDown's women will come out on top against the Raw team, but he needs a strong leader to lead them. Charlotte, of course, volunteers to be captain, but is of course met with resistance. So Bryan says that there will be a fatal 5-way match to determine who is the leader of the SmackDown women's team. Fashion Dogs, you're up now. So, it is the segment that everyone wants, everyone's been waiting for, the Fashion Files. The Ascension and Breezango are the Fashion Dogs. It was fun. It got funny at the end. It started off a little bit, Ellsworth is tied up in the back. There's a joke about him keeping his stinky underwear in the Money in the Bank briefcase of Carmella. Chuckle, chuckle, chuckle. Kid chuckle, chuckle, chuckle. The Ascension says that, of course it wasn't Ellsworth. It says it has to be the Bludgeon Brothers. They have 2 Bs. And Fandango says that we're gonna have to. Things are going to get stranger. Like stranger things. And next week, it's going to be Fashion Files Stranger Things. So I guess what they're doing now is they're ripping off popular shows and adding it to the Fashion Files thing, which is fine. Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan have a backstage kerfuffle. Bryan doesn't agree with Shane's tactics on jumping the Raw roster and says that I hope that he knows that there's going to be repercussions for his actions, and as the boss, he'll be placed in blame of what happens, and he is putting his input because that is his job as co-general manager. Next up is Baron Corbin versus Sin Cara. What the fuck happened to Sin Cara's outfit? Wow. He looks kind of just like Mystico in fucking Mexico. He looks generic as fuck now without the little tussles on his mask. Very quick, forgettable match. Sin Cara gets the win, because of a DQ. Baron Corbin beats the shit out of him, hits him with an end of days outside the ring. Yeah, kind of very missable. Nothing great. Jinder Mahal, sigh, enters the ring. Mahal says that Paul Heyman is a liar, and then shows a clip of from last night of Paul Heyman, the promo. I'm sorry, I have the hiccups. Mahal says he has earned everything in WWE. He started from the bottom, now he's here. He's beaten Orton and Nakamura, but doesn't get the same respect like he does from the 1.3 billion people in the great nation of India. The 1.3 billion people in India that still don't care about the WWE brand, and with Jinder Mahal being the champion, has done nothing to increase their numbers over in the Indian market. Great. Mahal bitches and moans, says he wants respect. No one gives a fuck. You don't earn the respect because you are a transitional fuck that's trying to get buku bucks because you're an Indian gimmick. Next up is Sunil Singh, I think that's how you say it, versus AJ Styles. Despite Sunil Singh probably being a better wrestler than Jinder Mahal is in general, he is of course booked to be a jobber and a squash match, and AJ Styles hits him with the calf crusher, applies it, and Singh taps out. What an answer! What a surprise. Everyone saw that coming. Owens and Zayn are backstage. Owens says that he has a qualifying match against Shinsuke and Nakamura. Zayn says that they will both win and they will be Team Kevin and Sammy and show them what's what. And Owens says, no, it's not going to be Kevin and Sammy. It's going to be Team Sammy and Kevin. Jinder Mahal comes backstage. Daniel Bryan says he's pissed off and he wants the other Singh brother to fight him next week. Daniel Bryan says sure. Fatal 5-Way, Naomi, Tamina, Becky Lynch, Carmella, and Charlotte Flair for the right to captain the SmackDown team. Clusterfuck. Becky Lynch gets the pinfall and she is the captain. Not much more to say. It was kind of just a clusterfuck. Nothing more, really. Not really great spots. Kind of just a clusterfuck. A regular Fatal 5-Way from the women. Shocker. And it's a shame to say that, but it is. Hammer Bro Luke and Hammer Bro Harper. No, Hammer Bro Harper and Hammer Bro Rowan. There it is. Hammer Bro Harper and Hammer Bro Rowan, the Bludgeon Brothers, cut another promo saying cool catchphrases. No, that's not it. That's for Dolph Ziggler. They don't say cool stuff. They basically give creepy glances in a wooded area, and they say that they're coming, and they show their cool, stupid Thor hammers, and this is fucking dumb, and this gimmick is gonna bury them. Oh boy, can't wait for their debut. Dolph Ziggler is backstage with Renee Young for an interview. Ziggler goes through the formal for an interview. Makes a mockery of the cool catchphrase gimmick. Does the Rock's If You Smell, then makes his own catchphrase, which is I told you so. He showed last week that Bobby Roode is nothing. He is his gimmick. Roode walks in smiling. Ziggler doesn't want to fight Roode. He's proved himself. Ziggler says that he's beaten Roode twice, and Roode says, wait, how about next week on SmackDown, a 2 out of 3 falls match to prove who is the best, and it will be glorious. And Ziggler says, okay. So, Sami Zayn goes up against Randy Orton in your main event to see who is the first team member of Team SmackDown. They put on a good match. Randy Orton comes on top. Kevin Owens tries to get the distraction. Orton hits Zayn with the low blow as Owens has the ref distracted. Then he connects with the RKO for the 1, 2, 3, and Randy Orton is your first member of Team SmackDown. Throughout the show, the commentators were like, oh man, we have boosted security in the back to make sure that if Raw tries anything, we'll stop them. Ooh, better watch out. Nothing happens, so Shane and Daniel Bryan are cut to Daniel Bryan chamber backstage. Says it was a successful show. Raw didn't do anything tonight. Shane knew that this was going to happen. Everything will be fine. Sorry. Bryan says, yeah, it was okay for right now. But there's always next week. And fade to black. I think Raw did a little better this week. SmackDown had a decent show. Raw had a little bit more going on. A little bit better matches. So, with that being said, I think it is time to go to 205 Live.
It's hard. Yeah, you know it's time for revolution. It's hard. I give you proper execution. It's hard. 'Cause you're a broken institution. It's hard. And I'm a natural evolution.
205 Live. We start off the night with a tag team match. It is Rich Swann and Cedric Alexander versus Tony Nese and Noam Dar. Tony Nese, you got an A-okay from me. I love the gimmick. I love the awesome spot of Tony Nese having, I think it was Swann in the corner and doing the little bicycle workout. And then giving the tag to Noam Dar, who also tries to do it, but Tony Nese is out at ringside going, "No, you gotta put your head back. You're not doing it right. You're not getting them gains, brother." So Tony Nese has won me over with this gimmicky showboat, workout bro type of thing. Good stuff. Cedric Alexander fucking kills it with Rich Swann. Rich Swann and Alexander... oh my god, what the fuck? Rich Swann and Cedric Alexander defeat Tony Nese and Noam Dar via pinfall. And after the match, Gallagher and Kendrick come out to the ring and extend an olive branch to Cedric Alexander, saying that they've seen a bit more of a crueler side to Cedric Alexander as of late. And say that this is a good thing. And that Cedric should embrace the evil that is in his soul. But they say that he should ditch the dancing deadweight that is Rich Swann, and warned Alexander that he could not get far with Swann at his side. He's a detriment. And says, believe me, Cedric Alexander, I know what it's like to be the goody-goody and not have anything happen. Trust me, it is better on the other side. You are better for it. So a little bit foreshadowing. Cedric Alexander may be gonna do a heel turn. So we will see what happens with that. Next up, Drew Gulak comes out to the ring. He's very irritated because his PowerPoint presentation that was supposed to be on the kickoff show for TLC was canceled. And Gulak says, because of this, the powers that be cutting off my presentation at the kickoff show, we are going all the way back to the first slide of my PowerPoint presentation. Then Gran Metalik comes out for his match against him. Kind of a slow match. Drew Gulak is more his gimmick and not so much for the wrestling. But it works for his gimmick because he doesn't like the flippy stuff. and he is kind of misplaced on 205 Live because he doesn't like to do 205 Live stuff, so it works. Gulak finally defeats Metallic, making him tap to a Dragon Sleeper. After the match, Gulak takes a look to make sure that Metallic will no longer be able to go up to the top rope, and starts to injure his ankle when Akira Tozawa comes out. To save Grand Metallic from Gulak kicking him out of the ring and scaring him off. Next up is Enzo Amore, who's your Cruiserweight Champion, versus Kalisto for their rematch for the Cruiserweight title. Enzo comes out with Daivari. Daivari is his mouthpiece tonight due to the fact that Enzo is suffering, I believe, from strep throat, or he just can't talk in general. He's lost his voice, so Daivari does the regular shtick of, you can't teach that, you are soft, get ready to see my dick, Brian, tall guy. And Kalisto comes down to the ring for their match. Enzo took some interesting bumps here. Modified kamikazes on the apron was cool. Of course, though, Enzo kicks the ref into the ropes, so he gets disqualified. So Kalisto did win the match, but it was via disqualification, so he was unable to gain the championship back due to the disqualification. After the match was over, Enzo was leaving when Kalisto attacks him from behind. Officials had to separate the two. Enzo's last word when he found his voice just said on the mic, "And still Cruiserweight Champion." And that ends the night. Not as good of a 205 Live show as the other ones have been. It was a decent show. Section Alexander and the Jack Gallagher segment was good. Daivari was good on the mic. And that's pretty much it. Same old really on 205 Live. Not really much to report there. So with that being said, I think it is about time. It is time to go over to NXT. So, NXT. Whoa. NXT. Yeah. Whew. So, NXT starts off backstage with William Regal, my boy.
He's a man. Such a man. Such a man.
Letting us know that due to the circumstances surrounding Nikki Cross's qualifying match last week on NXT, she will be given another opportunity to qualify for the Fatal 4-Way match for the NXT Women's Championship at TakeOver San Antonio War Games. Also, William Regal spoke about the Undisputed Era and Sanity's back and forth, and says that Sanity will be defending their tag titles against the Authors of Pain, and the member of Sanity that will not be competing in the match will be banned from ringside, so no shenanigans will occur during their match. And we kick off with Oney Lorcan and my boy, Danny Burch versus Riddick Moss and Tino Sabatelli. Is it just me? It probably is everyone. Do I just see, what the hell was their name? I guess it was Legacy, but didn't Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase Jr. tag team go by another name? And Ted, because I want to say, maybe it was just Legacy. I want to say they were like Money Inc. too at some point. No, it was Legacy, Ted DiBiase and Cody Rhodes, or Priceless, which I never remember them referring to them as priceless. That is priceless. But yeah, it just screams banger fucking Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase Jr., these two. Just a more roidy version of Ted DiBiase Jr. and Cody Rhodes tag team. They look like eye candy for Vince. These two, they don't. Yeah, I don't know. I every time I've seen one or these two of these guys in the ring, they haven't really wowed me. They haven't really shown me anything different or interesting. I mean, for all I know, they could be good workers, but nothing has really wowed me about these two. But I was wowed by a potential new boy. Oney Lorcan, yeah. Oney Lorcan, holy shit, this man can go. Lorcan yelling, "Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind?" from outside the ring during the match. Fucking Lorcan has savage looking European uppercuts. Look fucking awesome. My boy Birch delivering a few hits on his own. Danny Birch has such savage looking work punches and hits. They look so goddamn good. He's so damn good. My boy Danny Birch. They had a good back and forth. Finish of the match, Lorcan tries to do a crossbody to Moss, but Moss catches him. Fall away Sam to Lorcan into the turnbuckle. Moss and Sabatelli hit a gory special into a running bulldog for the win, and Riddick Moss and Tino Sabatelli get the win against Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, to which Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch respond with a shoulder shrug of, it happens. Decent opener. Like I said, Tino Sabatelli and Riddick Moss don't really wow me or interest me really. So next up was the NXT Women's Championship Battle Royale to qualify for the final spot in the Fatal 4-Way at TakeOver San Antonio for the Women's Championship. At first, I was like, okay, this is going a bit too long, everyone out of the pool. Because I don't like battle royales that much that take too long. Because half the time you see wrestlers looking around to see what they can do to kill time. And it just takes you out of it so much, and I just hate looking at it. Participants include Bianca Belair. Great to see Bianca Belair. Rhea Ripley. Basically, it has almost half of the signees from the Mae Young Classic, including Billie Kay and Nikki Cross. Tanara Conti is immediately eliminated. Wow, can I talk? Fucking hell. Long feeling schmoz, but eventually things got kicking. Bianca Belair uses someone's body to eliminate someone. I thought that was a great spot showing off her power. I think she does that. Yeah, she uses that to hit Rhea Ripley in the head to eliminate her. Belair then body slams Zeta over the top rope to eliminate her. Sage Beckett eliminates Dakota Kai, and then she also eliminates Ayla. Cross has a little bit of a schmoz with Billie Kay, and they end up going through the bottom of the ropes, and they let everyone else schmoz in the ring. But Cross climbs up and splashes everybody in a obvious spot of, come on everybody, group together so we can get this splash going. Billie Kay attacks Cross from behind to stop the carnage. Mercedes eliminates Sarah Logan. My girl, Sarah Logan was in this match. An afterthought, but she was there. Candice LeRae was in it, and she eliminates Lacey Evans. Belair Gorilla press slams LeRae out of the ring. Looked fucking savage, dude. Belair picks up Kay and dumps her on the apron. Great spot where Kay latches onto Belair's hair to stay in the match. I thought that was awesome booking there. She gets back in, celebrates. Belair goes fucking nuts and whips the shit out of Kay with her hair braid. Fucking savage. Mercedes Martinez elbows Belair in the face. The two go back and forth with each other, and they eliminate one another. Oh, no. Cross eliminates both of them as they're schmozzing. And then you think that Kay is going to be the one to go over, so it's that fucking Peyton Royce and Billie Kay. Which, by the way, of Team Iconic, Billie Kay is the afterthought. Peyton Royce can actually have a future. Billie Kay is jobber to the stars for women. For the women's division, which she goes up. But Peyton Royce actually can do some stuff and is compelling. So Peyton Royce can have a future. Billie Kay, eh. Kay misses shades of Kay to Cross. Cross lifts Kay up and throws her over the top. So Cross has done it. She will be in the Fatal 4-Way. Ember Moon comes down to the ring. Peyton Royce joins them in the ring, talking trash, and then the adorable Kairi Sane comes in the ring, and the four have a stare down as William Regal looks upon them with the title under his arm. We have your NXT Women's Title match, and it looks to be a good one. These women could have a really good match. Yeah. It went, in my opinion, it went on a little bit too long, the schmaz. Could have lessened the time a little bit. Belair looked fucking strong and great in this. So did Mercedes Martinez. Sarah Logan gets payday, which is good. Overall good stuff. It just went on a little bit too long. And I'm not really a big fan of Battle Royales, really, so. Earlier in that day, we cut to Drew McIntyre being hounded by the media. Zelina Vega confronts him. Vega demands to know why Andre Cien Almas has not been given a title shot yet. McIntyre tells her that he is tired of repeating himself. Almas wants a shot. Talk to Regal. Not my department. Later, sugar. Aleister Black, I believe, was supposed to fight someone, but his entrance is interrupted as he is attacked from behind by the Velveteen Dream. Dream sends Black into the ring steps, then tosses Black into the ring, ties Black up in the ropes. Dream starts yelling at Black to say my name! Say my name! When no one is around you! Say, baby, I love you! Say my name! Say my name! Black just stares at him like, fuck you, dog. Dream slaps the piss out of Black over and over again, yelling, say his name, but Black will not do it. Black gets out of it and attempts to kick Dream in the face with Black mask, but Dream is able to duck and roll out of the ring just in time as the two stare each other down. This feud is reaching its boiling point. I cannot wait for these two to get at it. Cannot wait. This has been a match booked to perfection and to greatness. So, we have your main event of Andre Cien Almas with Zelina Vega at ringside versus Roderick Strong. Good showing from these two. Good offensive against one another. Andre Cien Almas having his various kicks. Great back and forth between the two. Fucking Zelina getting into the tussle. Fucking doing a hurricanrana to Roderick Strong into the ring steps. Good for her. Get in there. Have a little intergender action going on there. Fucking awesome. This leads to Almas bringing Strong back to the ring, hitting his hammerlock DDT for the win, and coming out victorious. After the match, Vega goes over to the commentary desk and tells McIntyre that Almas will meet him in the ring next week. No excuses. Come at me, boy. Let's go. Strong is laying in the ring. The Undisputed Era comes on down. Adam Cole extends a wristband, very Nexus-like approach to this. Adam Cole handing Roderick Strong a wristband, tells him, "Strong, join us. You're not a loser. You are not a loser. Come with us. You know it is the right thing to do. You know you want to be with us. You want to be our boy. You want to be a boy." Cole hands him the Undisputed Era armband. The Undisputed Era leave the ring. Cole tells Strong, "Think about it, boy. Think about it." As Roderick Strong looks at the armband and into the ether, puzzling over whether he should or should not. I think he should, but I like it. Undisputed Era, very Nexus-like, bringing more people into the fold, people that they like, stuff like that. I'm liking it. I'm liking the faction thing going on here. Enjoyable show. NXT, as always, an enjoyable show. Battle Royale, like I said, went for a little long, but other than that, good show. This is where we would cut to the results of Impact Wrestling. But instead of watching TNA, I was having some TNA. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. No, I was hanging out with my girlfriend that day. And I'm going to be honest. I wish that they fucking put it on their network the next day. Because I'll try. What I'm going to also actually do is, I was going to announce it, is I'm going to try to watch Bound for Glory. We're actually going to try to do a live showing like we do with the WWE pay-per-views. I don't know what's going to happen with that due to the fact that Josh Matthews said not too long ago that they're thinking about putting it on the network live. I mean, I feel like this is something that should have been decided a couple of weeks before the week of Bound for Glory. But if they do it like that, I will totally be watching Bound for Glory. We will take a look at it, see what's going on, and I'll give a review, not next week, but the week after that. So with that being said, since I did not watch Impact, I think it's just about that time that we get into the news. So what is on the docket today? Well, Davey Boy Smith Jr. apparently stopped a woman from jumping off a bridge on October 22nd in Calgary using expert grappling. So the IWGP Tag Team Champion Davey Boy posted the following harrowing story on Twitter about how he stopped a woman from jumping off a bridge. "I saved the girl today," as he says in this tweet, "from jumping off a bridge. Thank you to my years of grappling for saving this girl's life." So he was trying to talk her down. I stopped and jumped the barricade and tried talking to the girl. She was crying, an emotional mess, threatening to jump if I got closer. With the people on the ground waving her not to jump, I decided to grab hold of her and not take any chances. She started to slide and want to go more as I grabbed a hold of her. Luckily, my years of grappling and self-defense, I knew how to grab her hard and how to pull her up from hanging off and jumping. She wasn't exactly small either. I knew not to grab her clothing because she would have ripped through it. When I yanked her off the bridge finally, I salvaged the mount position. And yeah, nice story. I don't know why she was doing it. I don't think that was disclosed, but that was good of Davey Boy Smith Jr. There are backstage rumors on Kurt Angle's return. So the discussion on his WWE in-ring return and what it was like to be a member of the Shield. There's a video of it. It was proposed last Thursday when it became apparent that Roman Reigns would not be able to compete due to suffering meningitis. He said that the TLC main event, him being in it, was Vince McMahon's idea, and was apparently checked out by WWE doctors when he was originally brought back to the company, and then had another physical done the Friday before TLC. apparently is medically fit and competed. WWE's announcement that Kurt Angle was joining Main Event came just minutes after they were given the thumbs up. And as of now, Angle's appearance was a one-time attraction, but the door is wide open to more going forward, so they're teasing that, nah, he's gonna do more. Okay. Impact Wrestling has terminated business with Jeff Jarrett and Global Force Entertainment Inc. Impact Wrestling just released the following tweet. Impact Wrestling announced today that it has terminated its business relationship with Jeff Jarrett and Global Force Wrestling Inc. effective immediately. It is also deliciously ironic to report that Jeff Jarrett has put himself into rehab with WWE's rehab money. Which is so goddamn ironic. Isn't that you put Vince in a hard position, try to get more money out of him, and then you come crawling back to that money to get some help on drugs.
He broke 6,000 guitars, never drew a dime.
Irony, don't it just taste so damn sweet? Jeff Jarrett, with the announcement that he will not be with Impact, he was asked by WrestleZone about the termination. Jeff Jarrett claims for comment and Impact respond that statement is an accurate. Anthem and Impact Wrestling are looking forward to a successful 6-day tour in Ottawa and much more. So Jeff Jarrett is saying that they still have somewhat of a relationship, even though it was reported by Anthem that they don't have a relationship, which is interesting. Jeff Jarrett is in rehab because Jeff Jarrett has reportedly gotten drunk and passed out backstage at an indie show and called the promoter an amateur while he was drunk. Awesome. PW Pro Wrestling Sheets reported regarding an incident the past weekend during Jeff Jarrett and the Real Canadian Wrestling. RCW promoter Steve Ashquash, I don't think I said that right, claims Jarrett arrived late and slightly intoxicated to their show last Friday night. Jarrett claimed that he had trouble at the Canadian border and had to be back there by 6 a.m. to clear it up. Jarrett allegedly then drank until he passed out in the locker room and had to be woken up at intermission to take photos with fans. Jarrett did not come to the ring for his match when his music played, and his opponent cut a promo saying that Jeff was upstairs getting drunk. When Jeff did not appear for the match, the two wrestlers stalled for 10 minutes. Jarrett told Ashquash he would update him on his border situation, but has yet to do so. Pro Wrestling Sheet reached out to Jarrett for comment, and he referred to Ashquash as an amateur. No, sir, you are an amateur piece of shit. AJ Styles reporting saying that Vince McMahon had nothing to do with their post-match Too Sweet moment. Yep, that's basically all that news story was. So there is news on Roman Reigns' return timetable. Pro Wrestling Sheet is reporting that Roman Reigns won't miss too much time after dealing with a viral illness and should be able to return shortly before Survivor Series. According to sources, Reigns' illness won't keep him out of the ring for an extended amount of time, but it was noted by PW Sheet that Reigns could be kept off TV a bit longer for storyline purposes. Reigns was kept off of the TLC event along with Bray Wyatt due to a recent viral meningitis outbreak. Okay, so seems like he's recovering well, which is good to hear. You don't want anyone. Ring of Honor is thanking Billy Ray. Ring of Honor posted the following on their website, thanking Billy Ray for what he meant to ROH during his tenure with the promotion. Wow, that didn't last very long at all. Billy announced his in-ring career was over at ROH Global War Chicago, citing a recent head injury. Oh, and the recovery time needed as why he was choosing to retire now. Oh, that's a shame. I'm not that big of a fan of Billy Ray, but, you know, That's nice. Apparently there is news on a possible Miz and Maurice reality show. PWInsider.com has a new report out regarding a potential reality show featuring The Miz and Maurice. That could be entertaining. In the report, they note that the working title for the series is The It Couple. Okay. I can't think of anything else at the top of my head, so... Okay. That sounds alright. Singer Ryan Cabrera is an old friend of the Miz's and would likely be a part of the cast alongside the other close friends of the Miz and Maurice, like Dolph Ziggler. That could be entertaining. More so than Total Bells, or whatever it's called. There are details about the Menendez outbreak. Wrestling Inc. has a report out detailing what they know about the illness that has been affecting the roster. Wrestling Inc. can confirm that WWE is testing members of the Raw roster for the mumps. WWE had apparently originally tested some talent for viral meningitis and discovered that the illness is believed to be the mumps. Mumps is an airborne virus that can be spread by saliva or utensils, even plates or cups, with an infected person. It can also be spread by coughing or sneezing. Symptoms usually take 16 to 18 days to appear. It then usually takes several days to a week for them to disappear. It will be interesting to see how WWE handles the testing, because once the talent is tested, they can't work until the results are back. It is not known if SmackDown's talent have been tested for the virus. We reached out to WWE and will post an update if we hear back from them. WWE sent the following statement. We have confirmed that 3 of our performers have been diagnosed with a viral infection. As a precautionary measure, we are ensuring in-ring performers and staff are tested and immunized in accordance with the recommended medical guidance. Okay. So apparently there has been a reason why Nia Jax took a leave of absence from WWE. Holy shit, I feel like an asshole because I kind of didn't even notice it that much. Holy shit. Sports Illustrated, Justin Barrasso has just released a new report revealing the reason for Nia Jax's recent WWE leave of absence. The reason behind Nia Jax's much discussed leave of absence has been uncovered as Sports Illustrated learned that Jax balked at the idea of losing clean to Sasha Banks at TLC. Oh, she was pissed that she would have to lose clean to Sasha Banks at TLC. She called her cousin Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to ask for his advice, and Johnson encouraged her to walk away if she was unhappy. And I guess she walked away. Huh. Don't play that video. Don't you do it. I'm starting to get done with this booking here in the WWE. Nia Jax did tease that she will compete at Survivor Series. The undefeated Chinese boxer, the Great Wall Tai Shan Dong, apparently is trying out for WWE at their Performance Center. And CM Punk celebrated his 39th birthday this week. Robbie E comments on his Impact Wrestling release. So Robbie E was apparently released from Impact. He says, I'm the first one to admit Impact gave me an opportunity. Without them, I wouldn't have been on reality television. I wouldn't have traveled the world. I wouldn't have been on worldwide television for all those years. I love Impact with all my heart. I'm thankful for everything I was given, but I had to take a risk. It wasn't really something I was looking about for a while. That day I talked about it with my wife and said it's time. Robbie comments on recent stories of wrestlers departing for creative happiness. He says, I would look at it and say, what do I care? Wrestling isn't real, and I'm making just as much money. If I had said no, I don't want to lose to a girl. I don't want to lose to Brooke. To Brooke, would have probably said all right. Then I would have been fired a few months later, and I wouldn't have had a job for the last 4 years. That sounds about right. Some people just want to go with the tide. Some people want to fight for what's right for their character. Gotta respect both ways about it. Apparently, there are updated plans for the 4 women versus the 4 horsewomen match. Dave Meltzer reports on the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter that WWE still plans on doing the 4 horsewomen versus the UFC horsewomen match. The match is now being planned for WrestleMania and will no longer for Survivor Series. It made sense that it would be at WrestleMania anyway. The decision to push the match back is being made because Survivor Series is now heavily being marketed as a Raw vs. SmackDown live event. It also is being said that the match has been pushed back to give more time to the UFC horsemen to prepare. Meltzer notes that Rousey has been at WWE Performance Center in the past week. Apparently, Rock is reportedly possibly working with Headlock Comics. Headlock Comics, a popular pro wrestling comic book series, posted a following open letter to The Rock, attempting to make contact with him so they could get him a copy of their series. Rock is glad that they reached out. He says that he can't legally and for copyright purposes accept to anything, but says, reach out to me, bro, we can do something. So that's nice of The Rock. Apparently, WWE's reportedly considering a guest referee for Brock Lesnar vs. Jinder Mahal at Survivor Series. And Dave Meltzer notes that in the latest edition of his Wrestling Observer newsletter, WWE is considering spicing up the Survivor Series Champion vs. Champion main event between Brock Lesnar and Jinder Mahal, and special guest referee. One of the names reported was John Cena. Mahal recently spoke out about how he would like to face Cena at WrestleMania, and this could serve as a stepping stone for that. Vince McMahon has also apparently been considering The Rock and Steve Austin for the role, but it would largely depend on their interests, schedules, and how much money. Sure, it'll make it interesting. I think that might be a best course of action. Jack Swagger apparently has some news about reinventing himself on the Indies. There's a lot of news today. Jack Swagger says, in essence, it's almost like starting all over again. To get back your momentum, you have to reach all fan bases, and it really did feel like starting again from scratch. But as of now, everything has been exactly what I expected. The majority of fans are glad to see me, and I have been getting good reception, which I'm happy with and hasn't deflated my ego. The hospitality I've received from every single roster I have been a part of has been amazing. It is a brand new side of things that I am learning, and I am having to learn on my feet, and it's awesome. So many of the guys and girls have been so helpful at letting me pick their brains about everything, and every show has been so different. He comments on the Indie Stars and improving on his skills. You have to have a different type of match in front of these crowds for me to learn that you can only do so by wrestling. So I have been watching as much videos and internet stuff as I possibly can to see what everyone's doing. When I was in What Culture, I was watching guys like Will Ospreay, and that dude is amazing in the ring. He can do a handstand without using his hands. Then guys like Zack Sabre Jr., Big Grizzly, and Dave Mastiff were instrumental to me when I was in the UK. In America, I like to watch guys like Ricochet. Also, Warbeard Hansen is one of my favorites. He's just phenomenal to see what he does, and how he brings everyone else's game up around. He comments on leaving WWE to be close to his family and friends, and says, being able to work with my wife is one of the main pros and one of the factors to why I wanted to leave. It can be very lonely. It could be a very lonely business at times, so it's nice to be able to be with her and travel with her, and also she is one hot mama. Okay, it was sweet there, then it got a little creepy. I also like working the smaller shows because they are much more intimate and intense, and you can feel that. Everyone is on the top of each other's... Everyone's on top of each other, and that's awesome. You can interact with the same, so much easier to do stuff right in front of the faces and enjoy that side of it. I also like the challenge of learning the style of wrestling for these shows and being able to make it on my own. I think the only downside to being an independent wrestler is that I have noticed so far is making sure you stay healthy. Like I am out there Friday to Sunday, and you have to go out there and put on a hell of a match each and every night. It is definitely a great bonus to be home more, and was a big reason to consider when I left. He said, On the flip side, and now that you're home more, you still have to make a living. But my son just turned 6 and is real big into the Disney, and we're lucky enough to be there last week. He is a he's big on the entertainment side of things, and he can cut promos and knows how to stand and all that stuff. My daughter is 2.5, and she is a super freakishly strong. Both of them are great swimmers, so I love taking them to swim. Very heartwarming stuff from Jack. I'm glad he's doing all right. Triple H! In an interview with News 18 in India, Triple H is asked about Jinder's current reign with the WWE Championship. And Triple H has said, I think there's a different ways to look at it. If I'm going to answer that from a wrestler's point or a WWE Superstar standpoint, sometimes people are looking at Jinder and saying maybe he doesn't deserve the championship. It's too early for him. They failed to see that Jinder was here before, and yes, he did not succeed the first time he was here, and he went away and he left, but they don't see the hard work, they don't see the dedication. Okay. That's all well and good. That's fine. Everyone fucking works hard. Jinder's not the only motherfucker working hard. Alright? He earned the WWE title. That's one hell of a rub to say that I've had the WWE Championship. It's over. Stop. For fuck's sake. Everyone works hard. Come on. That seems to just about be it for the news. So, I think that just about wraps up the podcast for today. Just a little bit of side notes. This will be going out after the fact, but we will be watching Halloween Havoc, WCW Halloween Havoc 1998 over on the YouTube. There will be a link to a stream of us watching it, and you can watch it alongside with us for free on the Rabbits website as you watch it on YouTube. If you know about that and are coming to it, I hope you had a good time. I hope it was fun. I hope we were entertaining me and Jake. We will also hopefully see about watching Bound for Glory live next Sunday. Stay tuned to our Twitter, our Facebook, and our YouTube to know if that is going to happen, whether or not that is going to happen. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast, and as always, dig it!